The President of our Franchise Advisory Council, Dan Parker.
All right. We got a lot of water here. Greetings to my fellow right-at-home owners, our staff members, the management and staff of Right at Home and RiseMark, ladies and gentlemen. I must tell you that for me, coming together with my fellow Right at Home owners is my favorite part of being in the Right at Home system. Whether I am attending home improvement, a performance group meeting, or a franchise advisory council meeting, I invariably come home with a list of new ideas for my business. However, that is only part of it. Over the years, I have come to know many of you, and the opportunity to hang out and maybe even do a little partying is really fun. There is a good reason why my performance group nicknamed me Manhattan Dan. Over the past 3 years, my business, it is in California, has been under an onslaught of state regulatory changes. I know that for many of you, you have been dealing with the same types of issues. At the very least, we have been dealing with a lot of change, forcing us to spend much of our time adjusting to the new landscape. In California, we have seen the cost of 24-hour care more than double in the past few years. 3 years ago, a licensure bill passed the state legislature, and we are now required to be licensed, which adds cost from fees and additional regulatory requirements. We are marching toward a $15 minimum wage, driving up costs for seniors each year. Much of this has caused seniors and their families to reevaluate how to age in place. Recently, websites have been popping up to assist home employers with hiring caregivers directly and assisting with tax and insurance requirements. All of these issues have forced me to reevaluate how I operate and market my business. Many hospitals and facilities have either eliminated access to referral sources or severely limited it. For those referral sources that are still openly available to home care marketers, they are being inundated. I mention all of this not to be negative. We all have state and federal requirements changing how we need to approach our businesses. Our industry is maturing, and like any industry in the maturing phase, competition gets tougher and more sophisticated. How we operate as a system must meet the challenges of the rapidly changing landscape. Referral source marketing will always be critical to our businesses. However, direct-to-consumer marketing is now becoming a more important component of our marketing strategy. The quality and performance of our web presence will become critical to our businesses. The use of radio and television advertising nationally and locally will continue to grow in the home care industry. But one thing is certain, the cost of this type of advertising will not be decreasing. So how do we triumph over our competition, you ask? One word, I say, engagement. We must leverage our strengths as a system to be successful. I joined the Franchise Advisory Council for 2 reasons. First, I know from previous business experience that we will be stronger working together than we ever could be individually. The second reason I joined the council was I want to move the needle. I want Right at Home to be second to none in the home care industry. The only way we can possibly achieve this result is by leveraging the combined strengths of our owners, our local staff, and the support staff at corporate. In my opinion, franchisee engagement is the single biggest opportunity for our system to maximize its brand reputation and individual franchise business valuations. I came into this business to make a living for my family, to do good works in my community, and create a valuable business that will make my retirement a lot more fun. Those of you that know me know that my wife Jill and I love to travel. We plan to do even more of that when we sell our business and retire. Yes, we've seen a lot of change in the last few years. Much of that change has stretched us as owners. Most likely, we will continue to see change that affects our businesses. So I say, let's band together, work hard together, and leverage the strengths we have in this system. If you look around you here at Home Improvement, you will see business people from all walks of life, backgrounds, education, and experience. You mean to tell me that we at Right at Home are not smarter, more experienced, and have bigger hearts for seniors and disabled adults than, say, Home Instead, Comfort Keepers, or even Visiting Angels? I say no way, and plan to personally stay engaged to help see the system win. I spent nearly 30 years working in my first career, and I have now spent 10 years working as a Right at Home owner. During my first career, working mostly in the high-tech sector in Silicon Valley, I was extremely fortunate to have had several excellent mentors. To a person, they taught me that there was little reason to have a meeting unless action items were created and people were assigned to complete those action items. They taught me to move the needle. I really thought that this was what we should be doing with the FAC as well. I spoke with several of my fellow FAC members, Mark Turner, Lynette Dugan, and others. Then we spoke with Margaret Haynes about making changes to how the FAC worked. Council members would be assigned along with corporate staff members to task forces assigned on priority issues. Margaret was very supportive, and in a very short period of time, we worked out the details of this new process. At the heart of the new process was the survey we sent to each of you. I want you all to know that the FAC very much appreciates all your efforts on completing the survey last month. The first year we sent out the survey, we got back 81 responses. This year we received 142 responses, a significant improvement. Now that's engagement. Because of the point system that Mark Turner designed into the survey, we were able to prioritize what you all felt was most important to your business. We opened 6 task forces containing FAC and corporate staff members, and we are pleased to say that in our first year of this new process, we felt we had moved the needle at least a little bit. As we move forward this year with the new survey results, many of the same issues remain, and our task forces, we have identified 12 this year, will go deeper. Those projects that have been rolled out, the mentoring program, the SEO checklist, the idea shop, and others, are just the beginning. The most important thing achieved is we now have a process of continuous improvement for the system based specifically on owners' priorities. We also plan to look outside the council for owners who would like to participate on these task forces. This is where you will have an opportunity to engage as well. Each of you will receive a list of priorities that we are creating task forces to address. If there is a topic where you believe you can make a difference, we would appreciate your participation. In last year's task forces, I had the pleasure of working with Pat Boyd and Brandon Pappas on the topic local search engine optimization. To make a difference in your local market using digital marketing, your marketing content needs to be local to perform well. To make a difference, since I started with Right at Home 10 years ago, I have worked on and off at improving my ability to be found in local search, with some frustration at the results. Unfortunately, this is not an easy or simple task. For those of you that have made similar efforts, you know that it is complicated, there's a lot of information, and to make it more challenging, Google keeps changing their search algorithm. When I looked at the results of the first survey, and the local SEO was one of the highest ranked owner concerns, I decided I wanted to be part of the team tackling this challenge. I knew from personal experience we would need to build the infrastructure necessary in each office. This would need to be done over a period of time as we are all very busy. We needed a systematic approach that would help us make progress year over year. When Brandon and I presented our initial concept to the FAC, and Brandon started to get into some of the technical challenges, I saw some eyes glaze over on the council. Hey, it's complicated, and unless you're interested in it, it can be daunting. How do we achieve something so challenging and constantly changing? We all felt that a step-by-step checklist for owners and their staffs embedded in a task management software system would be the best approach. We also want to get new owners started with the expectation that digital marketing is a part of what we do here at Right Home. The Right Start teams and the engagement teams will all be trained on what is needed from each office. For those owners in the system already, we will hold a series of training webinars for you. Your engagement team will be working with you directly to establish where your office is currently against the checklist and ensure that you are able to make progress. We are using the task management software to ensure that progress towards the goal does not get lost in the day-to-day activities of the office. There are 3 levels in the checklist, and it will take time to achieve the 3rd level. Much will depend upon where your office is when beginning the process. Every office that is engaged and performing well in local online marketing helps the whole of the system. The more Google recognizes Right at Home as an industry leader and experts in our field, the better we will perform collectively in search. This is a perfect example of when we work together, the whole gets stronger. As offices embrace the checklist and complete the levels, we will put pressure on our support resources. Each office will need more creative content to support posts on their website and in social media. This means greater support for graphic design work, photographs, and for those offices doing video clips we can use in our videos. Corporate supplied content is only part of the story. Your content must connect locally to be successful. This means you and your staff must be responsible for ongoing local content creation which resonates with your local community. To be successful, this must be an ongoing collaborative effort with your engagement team. Today in my office, we have a rolling 6-month local content upload schedule. Now that's a mouthful. Let me say that again. We have a rolling 6-month local content upload schedule. I, along with many of my staff members, are assigned the responsibility of gathering, producing, and creating the local content we need for all of our platforms, our website, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. My staff and I meet weekly to discuss marketing, and our online marketing specialist, Lisa Trudell, conferences in to discuss the changes and updates we need. I recently took the opportunity to discuss with Barb Madison, Chair of the Brand Marketing and Promotions Council, the BMPC, the potential of the FAC and the BMPC finding ways to work more closely together. We both believe that there are opportunities to be harvested if the two councils work more closely to support the system's marketing strategy. Barb and I are recommending that an inter-council committee be created to find these opportunities. Personally, I believe that together we can find more ways to better support our local marketing efforts. The two councils met on Tuesday this week and have agreed to work more closely together, even adding a second face-to-face meeting each year. I have always felt I would someday need to do local radio and/or television advertising. However, I also feel that a strong web presence was a prerequisite. Spending money on radio and TV advertising only to lose potential customers to a poor online customer experience does not make sense. I hope there will be a system-wide embrace of the local SEO checklist in our efforts at enhancing local online marketing. This is only the beginning. We will continue to address related issues and work to build a solid process for our system. Our system is strong, and Right at Home is one of the leaders in the in-home care industry. For the system to continue its growth and success, I believe strong franchisee engagement is essential. Help us help you by sharing the load with your fellow franchisees. As I have become involved, I believe my personal engagement with the system also makes me a stronger owner. There are many ways you can engage as an owner. Currently, we have 3 task forces, one for Clear Care, another for the employee experience, and Karen Zucker has created a task force for business development. There are also the 12 new task forces being created to address priorities from this year's survey. We will send information on these task forces as a follow-up to home improvement. Serving on the Franchise Advisory Council has been a real pleasure for me. Yes, it does mean some extra time spent not working directly on my business. In some regards, it has forced me to better manage my own business so I have time to devote to council-related activities. If you have not thought much about serving on the council, I urge you to reconsider. If you are serving on the Franchise Advisory Council, you too will have the opportunity to move the needle. And one more thing. If you are not in a performance group today, please rethink that decision. My experience has been that I have been able to help other owners and in return have been helped by my fellow owners in our performance group. We call ourselves the Dirty Dozen. It's a great group. We look forward to those times twice a year when we get together face to face and share our successes, failures, frustrations, good ideas, and perhaps a Manhattan or two. I have learned a lot from my involvement in my performance group and personally place great value on the Profit Mastery experience. It is my great pleasure to serve as your Franchise Advisory Council Chairman. I am committed to keep moving the needle. I look forward to engaging with you, my fellow Right at Home owners. I am confident that with all of us working together, we can become the world leader in providing quality home care. Thank you very much. I now have the distinct pleasure in introducing the chair of the Brand Marketing and Promotions Council, Barb Madison.